All right, Thomas, this would be funny, dude. I thought it was hilarious.
What story?
Yeah, so this happened on Tuesday. My last day at Ralph's.
Oh, wait, you actually quit?
I actually quit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So for context, Ralph's is like...
No, just for context, a Kroger boy.
And if you need context, so like me, an individual,
a human.
Yeah.
Ralph's
No. Okay. So it's my last day at Ralph's. I realized I don't have any food for breakfast, and I still don't. But
he hasn't eaten.
I live off the money we make from this podcast.
That's nothing.
Please,
my point exactly. So I get breakfast at the McDonald's near Ralph's. And so the drive-thru's stupid long, and so I'm like, I'll just walk in. I walk out of my car to the front, and there's this homeless guy in a wheelchair, and he's like, hey man, he gives me $6, and he's like, could you get me a meal? Because he didn't have a mask or anything, so I don't know if they wanted to like let him in or whatever. So I was like, that's totally fair, he's paying for his own meal too. So he's like, I just want a sausage McMuffin, hash brown, and a strawberry smoothie. I was like, sure. But just as a heads up, I'm running late for work, and so if there's a line in there, like, I won't be able to, like, buy your food. Like, I'm just gonna go straight to work. But I'll give you, obviously, like, I'm gonna give you your money back. Like, I'm not just gonna beg. Just so you know, you blew it. No, so I go inside. I have plenty of time. I get his food and come out. So he's waiting out by my car. I'm like, oh, here's your food, man. He's like, oh, thank you so much, man. You have a good day at work. I said, you too.
That's his job.
No. He said what he said next.
What did he say?
And he said, man, I wish I could work. And I was just like, oh, man. And I'm just like, as soon as I said you too, I was just like, I saw the words leave, and I'm trying to grab them back.
It's when you say you too to like anybody. It's like customer service.
But this was like probably the worst way to go.
Yeah, this is the worst.
And he was so genuine, like, you have a good day at work, you too. And he's like, well, I can't.
What's from my debilitating mental illness?
I got he's in a wheelchair.
And I was just like, hey man, you just.
But you got him the food though.
I got him the
Good
food.
on you, man.
Did you say anything after he said that to you?
I was like, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I was like, what am I supposed to say? How do you recover? You don't. You don't recover from that.
He told the story for the Doxa kids. We were all dying.
Oh.
I was like, yo, that's pretty funny.
And I just go into work and I'm like, I'm a monster. What do I do with myself?
He actually shows up. It's undercover boss. Wyatt, I am Ralph.
Mr. Kroger?
Mr. Kroger.
Ralph Kroger. You know the homeless man? That was me.
And you're getting fired.
This is some like Native American mythology at this point. And the old man was Barack Obama.
Oh, it's funny.
Oh, that's a good story.
So that's my undercover boss story. Most BM things.
All right.
Well, that's a good segue for homelessness.
What does that mean?
You know?
Segue to homelessness?
Yeah. That's our podcast.
All right. This is welcome to episode 3. Our topic: homeless people. Where do we put them?
What do you wish them?
Good day, good work.
Have a good life.
Have a good life. What's left? I'm sure your kids think about you.
They don't.
I don't. That's as fine as they don't.
That's why they're homeless.
They've given up many years ago.
Shout out to our homeless listeners. All right.
If you are homeless, write in.
Yo, can you swim?
BoolCast YT.
If you're a homeless Messianic Jew who's deaf, 6'8", 9'10", 11, 12, can you swim?
Yeah, I'm abandoning our topic. We're talking about homeless people the rest of the time.
No, we
The
can't.
Vietnam War.
No,
But we are talking
can't.
about a time. We are talking about a time where we forwent our homes.
Alright, welcome to episode 3 of the BoolCast. Thank you for, coming on this journey with us into the mind of us. I'm Thomas. I'm here with Wyatt and Joe, as per usual. And so today we're talking about not homelessness. That wasn't the goal. Today we're going to be talking about your guys' experience living on campus. Have you ever been in a dorm before? Lived in a dorm?
Lived in a dorm.
Yeah.
No, I've been in a dorm.
You've been in a dorm.
College dorm.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been in like a shared apartment with your classmates?
No, we were not classmates ever.
Yeah. But have you guys lived on campus before?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of those clickbait, like living on campus. It's not what you think.
RAs hate them.
You won't believe number 9.
So let's just tell the audience what was your guys' experience like living on campus?
It was a great, memorable 48 hours.
I would say so. Traumatic.
Traumatic?
Hardly.
Strenuous. Okay, it was not traumatic.
Hilarious.
So
I redact traumatic because parts of it, not sleeping was traumatic. But
that sucked.
Why did you guys come up with this idea of living on campus?
Yeah, so at least for me, this is when the idea first kind of came to my mind is like California State University, Long Beach.
Woo!
Yeah. Very nice facilities. Joe and I would work out at the gym there a lot, and the gym is really nice. I remember just working out there a lot and just kind of looking around. In my head, I was like, you know what? You kind of have all the amenities you need to survive. Like, and like comfortably. There's a lot of food places here. They like offer hammocks and places to sleep. There's showers here, and as long as you're a student, like this is all accessible to you.
Yeah.
And so in my head,
really
I was
accessible.
really
accessible.
And so I was thinking, like at that time, just like a small idea of like, you know, you probably could live here without actually like living here.
Yo.
And get away with it. And I don't remember when I talked to you about that idea, but eventually we kind of came to the conclusion that we could try this.
Let's run it.
And so we kind of just gave a little sketch out of like, okay, there's plenty of places to eat, sleep, shower, you know, just take care of ourselves.
Hang out.
And not get in trouble for it. That was like the main thing. It's like we don't have to do much like hiding from people because like we could do everything within the confines of the law.
Maybe both of us were chasing that college life experience, maybe, like living on campus. But I think most of us, actually, I think what drove both of us in a small sense was like, yo, this is going to be an interesting challenge.
Yeah.
And we are both so down to see if this is possible, whether or not we suffer.
Yeah, the end goal of this whole trip, or the objective, was to live at Cal State Long Beach for 48 hours without leaving the campus or asking for outside aid.
We didn't bring our debit cards. We had like basically
correct.
No money.
Yeah. So like the restrictions we placed upon ourselves, besides like we can't leave the campus, we can't use someone else's dorm,
Can't get caught.
we can't get kicked out, and the money that we used. This is the fun part. I had just quit Yogurtland at the time, and somehow with self-service yogurt, I made fat tips. I have no idea how, like, literally
so
doing
funny.
nothing. I made so much on tips. And so I had this huge jar of, like, money. And so what I told Joe is, like, to make it harder, because we could just pay with our debit cards, I'm just going to literally take 2 handfuls into this coin
Of change.
And whatever that is what we're running with.
For basically like a weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's all the money we have.
I just remember it was, like, 8 p.m. I don't know what I told my parents. I just was
I'm
like...
gonna hang out with Joe.
And they're like, oh, okay. I actually don't know, like, how can I explain, like, I want to just, like, be here for 48 hours. Not for any, like, thing, like, with, like, delinquency or, like...
Yeah, nothing illegal.
Like, just really dumb. Just, like, I want to do it. I don't know how I managed to do that, but, yeah, I packed all my, like, an extra pair of clothes and my change in this backpack. And I remember just, like, catching the bus, going to school, and I was just like, there's no going back. Like, we're doing it.
Banging your head like,
I remember mom into some, I think it was,
it's right.
like Suicide Boys or something. And it was like this super hard beat, and I'm just like, oh, we're doing it. I got off the bus, and I found Joe, I'm like, here we are.
Let's ride, baby, let's ride. Yeah.
So what did you pack?
Similar things. I think I did a backpack. I actually can't remember if it was a backpack or like one of those Nike drawstring bags. But one thing I do remember about just the start of it all is we're walking from the bus stop, which is in like kind of like by Brotman Hall, kind of like that upper campus. You go down these huge flights of stairs, keep going down the elevation, basically the lower campus where the rec center is. Because at this point, me and Wyatt basically, like, even during school, like after school, we would just go to the rec center so much.
It was the only place that was open at the time. I remember that because we got there like Friday night or whatever. Yeah. So like the only place that was open that late was the gym.
Right. But one thing I do remember about just the start of it all is walking by the engineering buildings and just alarms. Just like fire alarm, this building, that building, this building. And it was just like all of this one cluster, I guess, of buildings on our way to the rec center. And we both just looked at each other and were like, yo.
How's the gist already up?
Yeah.
We haven't done
like,
anything.
This is either a bad sign or we're already done.
We're already like building after building, kind of like following us almost. This entire block. Just
This is pre-crime. We know you're about to spend a night on campus.
Some Minority Report.
I know, right?
All right, so you're going down to the rec hall. How do you spend that first night? What's your game plan that first night?
We spent a good, probably 2 or 3 hours in the gym that night, I think. We kind of left really late.
Yeah, I remember this part. So, like, after that, we got out around, like, 1 o'clock. And so we're like, yeah, this is the tricky part.
How late does it stay open?
It's like midnight.
Oh, yeah.
Midnight, 12:30.
Yeah.
So, like, from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. is, like, the real risk hours.
Right.
There's no gym.
There's no gym. Where are we going to go?
Yeah, there's nowhere to be. There's, like, you can't just sleep on the street because, like, the school police would come.
Because they have police. There's a police force on campus.
Yeah. Right.
So
and
it's like they outnumber us.
Move along.
Move along. Keep it moving.
I remember our next step was to be like, all right, well, let's just kind of explore, just see what's around campus now that the alarms are off. So we walk up this flight of stairs to the upper campus, and we come across like the sorority.
Oh.
And they were up by these elevators. And they were doing some chant.
Low key, I thought it was a seance.
Yeah, dead serious.
Me and Wyatt were just like, okay, this 48 hours was probably the strangest 48 hours of my life.
So it's a typical weekend at Cal State Long Beach,
I guess, but for some reason it all converged on the moment that we were there, because there was this sorority seance that are all dressed in black.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And I was like, are these witches? What? We got a witch sorority.
The witch sorority.
Yo, I respect Cal State Long Beach for being that forward. You know, that progressive. However, I was scared. I was like, what? Also, first night at like 3 a.m, like the Marine Corps. Do you remember this?
Yes.
The Marine Corps.
Wait, why haven't you guys gone to sleep yet?
We can't.
There's nowhere to sleep?
Because
we didn't sleep yet.
No, we didn't sleep yet because the only place that is open, we'll come to it, is the 24-hour study hall, no sleeping.
So the thing is with that, we were trying to avoid that as long as we can, because if we were there for too long, it would get really conspicuous of like, why were we there for like 4 hours?
Because you could bring a book to like pretend to study?
We did. I brought this fat Shakespeare book. I remember this.
Yeah.
It was so big.
Just to have a cover.
Yeah, it was so heavy. I couldn't have brought like anything.
we were legit like students though. We were like, yo, we're just living. Like,
yeah, so like we played it well. Like we had all the gear. So, but we didn't want to be there for too long for that reason, to be suspicious, and also if we did fall asleep,
they would kick us out.
This room, we'll get to this room and why it's so hard to sleep in, or how so hard it is to not sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. So like we deal with the witches.
So it's 3 a.m.
We don't deal with the witches.
We run.
I look at the witches. I'm like, I'm going where they're not.
They were like chanting and like call and response, and they were like military, like stand still, like yelling.
Sorority girls or guys?
Girls.
This might have been a witch seance. It might not have been a sorority at all, but I'm pretty sure it was.
What was scary the most about that? It was like, it's them and us and no one else.
Yeah, it's 1 in the morning.
Tonight we find 2 souls.
It's like it's like 16 sorority girls, and just be a Wyatt like.
Dude, this reminds me of like the beginning of a Scooby-Doo episode. They like see that group like, yipes! What is that group doing?
The thing is, that's when we looked at each other. We're like, oh dang! And then we saw like the Marine Corps battalion.
Yes.
So like after the seance, there was a group of like, no joke, like 50 Marine Corps trainees at like 3 a.m, which kind of makes more sense to the seance, I guess. Training, but they were running at Cal State Long Beach though.
Like up the stairs or something?
Yeah, they were doing
they were
like
in the
runs.
stairs. Yeah, they were.
But they were like yelling and like doing directions and commands and stuff. And so we're just like, if this is what college is like at night, like
What have we been? Why haven't we been here the entire year?
Yeah, like
exactly.
I'm done taking classes.
And the funny thing is, this is not even close to any of the dorms. This is literally on campus. The dorms are
like
like
where the classes are.
yeah, where
Yeah.
the classes are.
Yeah.
We saw
Wait, what?
a pack of raccoons. And this isn't like abnormal, except in my mind is what I remember of them. It was like 8 of them, but they were so intelligent.
And they look like they could hurt us.
Yeah, they would have definitely taken us. It was like 8 of them, but
They were fighting the platoon.
yeah, they were training.
The witches like cast a spell on them to fight the military.
Yo,
That's fun. Wait, what's that group of raccoons called?
Rack.
The Rack of Raccoons.
I want to say like a gang
Oh, that makes sense.
or a murder.
A murder of raccoons.
Yeah, like a murder of crows.
So it's almost more. It's like 3, you said, after the military people and the raccoons?
I don't know exactly what time, but
They were all around the same block of time.
like same few hours maybe.
Yeah, so
Hour or
at this
two.
point we're just like, this is crazy, bro.
Why is
And-
it was just so strange.
Yeah, and so we're like, all right, it's time to go to the 24-hour room where it's safe. Usually there's a
Like an attendant.
yeah, but he's not there. So we're like, yes.
Because it's like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, so like usually you have to like sign in and stuff and put your ID and stuff. So we don't have to do that, which is like rad. So let me explain this 24-hour study hall room.
It's in the USU.
It's in the USU. It's
Student union.
It's actually 2 rooms that are like kind of off center to each other. So like you can see all of one room and then like half of the other room.
Okay.
And that will be important later.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, it's so funny.
the rooms are like a very off-white, like kind of beige.
Uh-huh.
Kind of all the rooms in
Yeah.
the student union.
There's nothing on the walls except a whiteboard and a clock with that audible just
Uh-huh.
and it's dead quiet. And now it's like 4 a.m. and we put out all our books like we're doing stuff.
Pretend like we're studying.
Your
Pretend-
Shakespeare book.
Yeah,
Like your
just this
Shakespeare class.
massive Hamlet on the table.
If someone asked you what class was that for, what would you say?
English.
Just English.
I would have said English.
I was an English major. They'd be like, oh yeah. So this is all happening. So we set up all our stuff, but we're in the far room,
Right,
So
we're
we
in
can
the
kind of
second
be
room.
hidden.
Yeah.
So no one can see Joe, but they can see me. So I'm
Right,
at the
'cause
table.
That's a good play.
He's in the doorway.
Getting
So
complexion.
The doorway of the second room goes. So basically, all the doorways are in the same spot. So
Yeah.
you can see from one room into the doorway, into the second room's doorway, and
Yeah,
into
yeah.
that room, right? The last room, the room we were in, was much longer for streaming the rest.
Yeah.
So half of the room is basically behind the wall.
Right.
You know,
So this was our plan. Our plan was to basically like take shifts.
of sleeping.
Because like there were definitely people like that would come in and check. Like
Yeah.
we knew that was a thing. So we're like, all right. So the goal is like we
There were people
both
studying, too.
Yeah, no, not when we were there. There was nobody.
Really?
It was
I thought
just
there was
us.
one person there.
It was just us.
Okay.
So like we tried to actually like I was like I got some reading to do. Like I might as well.
I had some homework.
Impossible. Like no way. It's just so
It's
numbing in there.
Also, the lighting in that room
so dim.
is like the lighting when like a mob boss interrogates somebody.
It's
at
like
the same-
Swinging light. It's like,
yeah, but it's not like it's like that same tone of light.
It's like the BoolCast lighting.
Oh,
before those fancy new lights were put in.
Yeah, before the B-Rice lights.
Yeah.
It's some soul sucking light. Like
Yeah.
you think like it's enough to see, but you're not really like see like.
You're not really
your
seeing-
yeah, your eyes aren't really taking in like the same.
It's like you're transported to like Mexico on a TV show. Just that yellow shade.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Like
So-
color shift.
it was legit color shift in the bulbs. You know that night shift.
Oh, I get you.
So at this point, I'm trying to make sure that no one's coming in. Joe knocks out like, boom, he's gone.
First shift,
But
boy?
he's like,
Oh.
legs up on the table, shoes off.
I'm on the
Clothes
floor.
are like on the ground.
Wait, what?
I am on the floor. My feet are up on the table.
Why wouldn't you put your feet up?
We were so tired. We were
I was.
No, I'm saying, why don't your feet just go against the ground?
because like it's so
He was tired.
the chairs are so uncomfortable.
No, like, why don't you lay on the ground?
Well, I was,
He was half on
I
the
was I was on the ground.
wanted his feet up.
What happened is I was sitting.
Can't a man put his feet up at the end of a long, hard
Okay,
day?
hold on. The funny thing
Witches
is,
and
I don't even remember going to the floor. I just remember waking up from the floor because I was in the chair and I put my feet up.
Oh, and they just stayed up there while you were on the ground.
Wait, hold up. I also took my shoes off while asleep and my clothes off.
Whoa!
Not all my clothes, just my shirt, I'm pretty sure, right?
Wait, you had
a jacket. You had a jacket. You took it off.
Okay.
Not my shirt.
We didn't want to expose ourselves to the.
Yeah, we would have get really in real big trouble.
He's fully naked. And then I started having sex with each other. It was just so weird.
And then there was like, officer, why are you mad? This is college.
The witches woofies me.
And then the military just busts in. Tackles
with
us.
the raccoons. Yo, that's what we were setting up. Yo, it's a movie.
Okay, wait, what time did your first sleep shift in?
Okay, we never got that far. so this is what happened. This is what happened. So this is probably the most like harrowing part.
This part is so funny.
There's a automatic sliding glass door.
Okay.
Very squeaky.
Uh-huh.
And I was super stoked on that because I was like, I can wake up real fast and I'll hear it. So I start dozing off like real hard, but I'm like sitting up asleep and I hear, and I was like,
oh
okay,
dear God, I'm still asleep.
Who's that peeking around the corner? Joe, remember, is on the other side of this wall. No one
on the ground.
Yeah,
no one can see me.
I hear a vacuum. I'm like, okay, so it's a janitor, and he starts cleaning the first room, which isn't in the study hall yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I got some time. The vacuum's loud. Joe's not waking up. I'm like, okay, but like, I don't want to like say anything either because this guy. And then he turns the corner and he sees me, and I like wave at him.
He's in the doorway.
And I wave at him. He doesn't know Joe's in there.
Yeah, but you're good cover for.
I'm a great cover for reasons, and so I just acknowledge that he's there. I have my Shakespeare. I'm like, yeah, you know, steady grind.
Heist looking. Oh, I got my Shakespeare right here in the study room.
Ain't nothing going wrong. Hey, don't come in here.
You have an apple on the desk.
It's like a knife in the Shakespeare book that I take out.
Yeah, you bring your own like portable lamp to have over here. I'm just studying.
So like, Joe's still asleep, like borderline snoring, but he can't hear because of the vacuum. I'm like, okay, he's got the vacuum. He's in one room, but I gotta get him up. But I want to be like smooth about it.
But he's like looking at because he's vacuuming, and the only person he can see the whole time is Wyatt.
Yeah,
because he's in the room, and Wyatt's sitting at the part of the table that you could see from the doorway.
Yeah.
And so originally I'd just be like, I would just tap Joe, but his feet are on the table, his shoes off, like it's a mess. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just nudge the table. So I would like kind of push the table, just kind of rock it
without saying anything.
It's not working. He gets into the next room,
so right next
and I start pushing it a little harder. I'm reading a little harder. I hear him going around the other side of the wall. He's on this far side of the first room. Like, I only got one more shot before he's in his next room.
He's in the actual like study.
He's in the study hall now.
But like doesn't see Joe yet.
No,
he's not in that room yet because that wall covers him still.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, Joe. I'm like pushing the table, and eventually he kind of like falters, and I'm just like, and he like scrambles, and then the dude comes in, and we're still studying.
We're just studying. I got my notebook open. Hey, oh, hello, officer. Ain't nothing changed. Nothing happened here.
Get your hood up, so he knows.
He got a couple shots to the chest.
Is that some Skittles?
Post.
No post. Arizona iced tea.
No post.
No. Funny. Oh.
So that was
so funny to us.
It was so funny, but so scary. Because I was like, I don't want to leave this early.
We were like, okay, we've done like 16 hours already, and our goal is 48. Like, we're far enough in that if we fail now, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And we were so close because like he comes in, I'm basically just like in the movie.
I just put my shoes on.
Put my shoes on. You know, I'm like, oh, hello, officer.
I'm literally playing this like a movie. Like, it cuts to like the scene of Joe like rushing to put on his stuff, and it jumps back to the janitor's point of view, and right he turns the corner, Joe's just like sitting there pristine.
That's how it felt. It literally felt that cinematic.
That's what
and all you can hear was like. And he was like, like he's evil now.
NPC.
He's like, I don't know.
He just goes back to doing
a question mark goes over his head.
Metal Gear.
Yeah, so that was the big bullet that we dodged.
We would have lost. We would have
hard lost. And so that at that point we were like, okay, it's 5. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Then we get back out into the real world. The saving grace of now that it was morning is that we could eat. and there's a really nice buffet called the Chart Room that's open at really strange hours. And luckily, like, we were there at strange hours. So, like, it opened at, like, 11. It's, like, open until, like, 11 to 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of professors go there. Oh, boy. Anyway, a lot of professors go there. Actually, that's going to come into the podcast, right?
Yeah, we got some police activity.
Joe?
It's the raccoon military witches.
It's actually that one janitor. He's still...
Yeah, he's like, I knew it!
I heard y'all!
You said it!
I knew it was y'all!
I'm the one on the analytics.
I listened to every podcast waiting to have you guys slip up.
So then we went to this buffet, and we basically, like, cashed out.
Yeah.
There was an all-you-can-eat thing, so we just ate a ton of food.
But it was like $11. It wasn't crazy expensive.
$11 each, but we're running on Yogurtland change.
Yeah.
And
so we might have had like $25 total.
Yeah. And
Maybe
so,
a little more, like 28.
Unfortunately, we were very low on cash after one meal.
Yeah, we did not plan well.
And so we were like, shoot, so for a while we were just kind of doing vending machines and living off like those packets of peanuts. And then we were like, okay, this isn't going to be sustainable. And then
We're gonna run out of cash.
Joe came up with this idea of how to get money back.
Yeah, we could earn money.
You can earn money.
Because we still had the change. We have like $25 of change.
But like out of principle, you couldn't just use it.
No, yeah, we were like, if we're gonna do this challenge, we're gonna do it right.
Gotcha.
We're gonna subtract the change, and I think we penalized ourselves.
Okay.
Because we're like, we paid on my debit card, and it was like $23. So we probably brought like $25 to like $28. So we have like only a few dollars of change left.
Gotcha.
But we still have the rest of the change. So we're like, all right, how can we do this? And so, was it me that brought it up? Yeah.
Yeah. You can earn money back if you carry all the coins in your hands for the rest of the day.
What?
Yes.
So the coins that you carry in your hand, you earn.
So I had it in like a sandwich bag.
Yeah.
Like a big, like freezer bag, and then I carried like 2 handfuls, and like for the rest of the day, if I didn't drop it, I could earn like $1 back.
Wait, so it's physically in your hands?
Yes.
Like loose change.
Like a bunch of coins, like two mounds of change.
How in hours? How long would you have to do this?
I think we did it for a couple hours.
Yeah.
That sounds stupid.
It was awful.
We needed money.
This is like the Mr. Beast. Any change you hold, you keep.
It kind of was like that.
We were proto Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
But
Also,
it's like $10,000. $1.
$1 back.
yeah.
Give it to a homeless.
Well, the thing is, like, there were certain things that we wanted from the vending machines, but we just had like an odd amount that was enough for 2 for each of us.
Right, and so we do
would,
challenges to get it back.
We would literally like starve because we had the chart room like idiots. And we spent all our money.
It was a good run, but
Yeah.
then we were like, dang, we need 5 cents if we want this
Like
Cheetos.
yeah, or granola bar.
Yeah, and so we're like, so then I'm still holding the change. So then I remember there's one that's like, all right, you have to walk down. There's like these stairs going down the lower campus, and there's like a slightly raised like other step thing, like for just art. And Joe was like, "Are you have to walk down that with your eyes closed, all the way down, holding
All
the
the way
change
down?
to
All the
get
change.
that 25 cents back?" And I was like, "All
and
right."
if you drop the change, we literally lose our money.
We can't pick it up.
Yeah,
We
leave
can't.
it.
The goal is like if I drop any change, it stays on the ground.
Yeah, we cannot pick up anything we drop. So I had White do a numerous set of challenges, and he was so like he was stressing, but he came clutch. There's like these rails by the staircase. So I was like Wyatt, being his 6'5" self, which he
I'm not 6'5". I'm probably like 7'2".
Yeah, probably.
I was like, all right, Wyatt, this bar, like this handrail, it's open at the bottom, so you can go underneath it, but it's probably like 3.5 feet tall. Like, Wyatt, we'll give ourselves $1 if you can walk holding all the change underneath that.
Like limbo?
Limbo it.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Which I do, but I have a backpack on, and the little like loop at the top, this one that I have here in the studio, that loop gets caught on like a bush near the railing, and it pulls me a little bit, and I crash into the bush, but I'm still holding the change.
Like
It's
above
like-
his head. Like,
It's like in my mind with skateboarding videos, like the cameraman will always save the camera over his own body, so he'll like crash and eat it, or the skater will like hit him, and he's just like holding it as high as he can to avoid, because it's like thousands of dollars, and I have like maybe $250 in my hands, and I'm just like out of the thistles, like I still got it.
I was so
boys.
surprised he survived that.
That's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, so all in all, actually, those challenges were important because we were able to get like enough peanuts and granola bars
To survive.
to literally stave off our hunger.
At that point, yeah, our goal was to make it to midnight, and then we were gonna walk to my parents' place, which is like 2 miles away, to get my car, and then I would drive Joe home.
Yeah.
And so at that point, it was pretty standard, pretty mellow, just hungry and holding change.
Yeah, overall, I feel like it was such a memorable... I'm so glad we did it.
Yeah, I
so
remember
glad we did
the last few moments we were walking towards the corner of the street, so that way we have a better head start going back to my place. I remember just being in the parking lot. It's like 11:58, 11:59, and it's midnight. We're like, we did it, boys! And like nobody knows because like
Nobody knows.
nobody
cares.
Yeah, like nobody cares that we did this, but in that moment we
You
were
accomplished
euphoric.
something.
We were so happy. Like, we were just like, yo, we did this, and it was so worth it.
Yeah.
No, I respect it totally.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I mean, it's not hard, but it's like...
Why?
Yeah, well, yeah, that. But also just like... I don't know. Living on a place is something that I've always dreamed about doing. Like, I wanted to like spend a night at like Disneyland or like Tom Sawyer's Island. I just want to like see if I could survive like living somewhere. It's like I kind of want to do it.
Yeah. It's worth it, man.
So like, if someone was to do this, especially like, or maybe specifically at Long Beach, what are some tips you guys would tell them going into living on campus in this way? What are some things they should prepare for or bring along with them?
Bring actual money,
Yeah.
or to make it harder, don't.
Just survive off the land.
Yeah, one thing we kind of toyed with was like just kind of like begging people for food, but we felt like that wouldn't do super well. It might hurt our chances for like staying because if people were like, "Hey, there's just these dudes like just begging for food." Yeah,
or like looking for change off the ground,
yeah,
like cigarettes and stuff. Looking like
kind of spare a cig.
It probably is a lot more difficult now to do this.
Yeah,
just living in that post 9/11 world we are now.
Yeah. But actually, I think it'd be a lot tougher to like kind of get away with that.
Why do you think? What things changed?
Well, actual school shooting threats at Long Beach within like the time we were there, like multiple,
like towards the end.
Yeah, so like,
but who would you have the opportunity to shoot? There's no one else there with you.
I'm just saying like security's more tight is what I mean.
I see.
Yeah.
Like,
there've been numerous like race crimes, numerous.
Like people are just more like tense to those things. So like anything that's suspicious.
And we were
we were suspicious.
We were suspicious. And you have the 6'5", and then 5'6".
Yin and yang.
Yeah. They were like that.
More ways than one.
Yeah. They were up to no good. That's what they said. But yeah, I think also with COVID, it's really hard because all the places that you'd want to stay at are probably not open.
Yeah, right now you'd have no chance.
Yeah.
You know what that story reminds me of a little bit? Is when me and you, Joe, we went to the mountains for a night, and we brought like bags of I guess one thing of beef jerky and one thing of granola, and we survived in the mountains for a day. That's what it reminds me of.
2 days.
Yeah, 2 days, but one night.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
I'm kind of down for these kind of adventures. Like, it is a real big test of your will.
It is. I feel like, but from what this sounds like, it's not about like you're gonna survive. Like, you're not gonna die doing either of these things, going to the mountains or going to the school and trying to survive. It's like that character building that you survived off the land. You survived minimally.
It's just to know like you did the experience.
Yeah,
like
it's worth it.
I think a lot of it was just like, how crazy is it that we're doing this? Like, isn't it so funny that we're actually doing this?
Isn't it so funny?
Yeah,
it
was very self-congratulating, but it was really like, it's fun. It's fun to just kind of like throw that as like a story too.
Yeah, that we did that.
Yeah,
and all those things and also I feel like it couldn't have happened in any better way. Like, just to start with the alarms to the seance, like all of that stuff was so funny, and we were just like, what is happening? So yeah, I'm really glad we made it through, especially the study hall. We didn't get kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great time, and I think it was just cool. Like, it was a great bonding experience for both of us, and yeah, it's probably really hard to do it in these current times, but
in these unprecedented,
difficult, new times. All right, thanks for coming along with us on this journey through Cal State Long Beach. Joe and Wyatt, thank you for going through this experience and sharing your experience with us here today. Join us next week. Same time, same place, same Bool hour. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Later.